The gay Olympians are contenders in this week's popularity contest, and we all know everybody loves the Daily Dapper enough for it to make the countdown twice, but can it make it to the number one spot? We're about to find out.
You're watching the popularity contest from the global resources of the Gay Socialites World Headquarters in New York. Here's your host, Charles Winters.
If all goes as planned, in just a few minutes you'll know what the most popular story of the week is. Good evening, everyone. I'm Charles Winters. Let's get things started. Sticking with the format we introduced last week, along the way we'll spotlight the most popular in news, nightlife, op-ed, on our sister site, queerplanet.net, in the archives, and let's kick things off with health and beauty. It was his first week on the job, and he really hit the ground running with one of this week's most popular articles. Marcus Susko's debut article, Rock Solid Tip of the Week, clearly got some gay socialites pumped up because it was one of the site's most read articles this week. It was also the most popular health and beauty article. If you clicked this week's column hoping to get a glimpse at Susko's sexy physique, all you got was this graphic with cartoon body types and some tips on how to pick the perfect workout for those of you who are trying to stay fit. Here's our first glimpse at the Daily Dapper in this week's popularity contest. Kevin Nowinski had a few things to say about gay-on-gay hate, and it clearly sparked your interest, making Wednesday's Daily Dapper, titled, Stop with All the Gay Bashing, Already Homos, our most popular op-ed piece this week. Nowinski says the arguments gays get into over everything disgusts and horrifies him, even more than the smell of the bathrooms at Eastern Bloc. There's nothing better than a catty burn planted in a column about a completely unrelated topic. Right, Musto? You can read all these stories and more at gaysocialites.com. Just click on your favorite category. We're almost ready to reveal the most popular story of the week at gaysocialites.com. But before we do, Thomas has our most popular news story. Dylan is in for Ian over in the archives. And Josh Rashan tells us what's hot at queerplanet.net.
The most popular story at Queer Planet this week is a salute to the gay athletes competing in the 2012 Olympic Games in London. The story by the Huffington Post's Gay Voices reporter spotlights all 23 openly gay Olympians. That number is drastically higher than the last two Olympic Games. Beijing had 11 openly gay contenders in 2008, and there were only 10 in Athens back in 2004. Now here's Dylan Edwards, who is filling in for Ian in the archives.
Thanks, Sean. A story we haven't heard about in a while worked its way through the cobwebs and back to the top this week, proving that the gays still have a thing for Superman. The most popular archive story over the past week is a story we did months ago about nudie pics that surfaced of Adam Roberts, who played the webbed hero in the Broadway performance of Spiderman. One look at these 4 or 5 pics of Adam in his birthday suit and you'll want to be tangled up in his web for sure. We can't show you the uncensored photos here, but you'll find a link at gaysocialites.com if you just search for Spiderman nude. Now here's Thomas Bistriz with the week's most popular news story.
Thanks, Dylan. Our most popular news article this week brings us to the Chick-fil-A anti-gay marriage controversy. Former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee called for a Chick-fil-A Appreciation Day on August 1st. But those who were turned off by the fast food chain's out and proud position against gay marriage decided to try and steal the headline with Chick-fil-A Depreciation Day. Gay marriage supporters were encouraged to show patronage to other fast food eateries that did not wage a war on equal rights. Then on Friday, more than 15,000 marriage equality supporters are believed to have locked lips with someone of the same sex as part of a nationwide kiss-in demonstration lodged against the chain's head chicken, Dan Cathy. Mr. Cathy made it very clear that he and Chick-fil-A do not support same-sex unions. Mr. Cathy isn't likely to retract his statement. However, in the meantime, his PR reps are running around like chickens with their heads cut off as they try to cope with this publicity nightmare. And that's our most popular news story this week. Now let's send it back to Charles at the gaysocialites.com world headquarters with the winner of this week's popularity contest.
Thanks, Thomas. Earlier we promised you 2 doses of Dapper this week, and that means the other Daily Dapper is the most popular story of the week. Kevin Nowinski focused a lot on nightlife in this week's Daily Dappers, but nobody was complaining. And it was Tuesday's plug for Geo Black Peter's Super Bisexuals soiree in Brooklyn that made the number 1 story of the week. In this Daily Dapper, Kevin tells us how he sucked it up and headed for Sugarland in Williamsburg. From the looks of things, he had no regrets, and the gay socialites were intrigued because, like I said, Tuesday's Daily Dapper was the most popular story of the week. That does it for this week's popularity contest. For all of us here at gaysocialites.com, I'm Charles Winters. We'll see you next week.